Welcome back. It's still this morning live on Metro TV. Very active on DSTV channel 277 on Facebook, on Twitter. Also on YouTube, just go there. Metro TV Ghana. Metro News, Metro TV, all social media platforms. I'll be joined in the studio by Mr. Ebenezer Kofi Wiredu Sagoe. He is the CEO for SKEW. And we're going to talk about startups. If you're starting a business, this is a conversation for you this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great. So we are talking about startups this morning. I'm tempted to ask you how you started yours, but before that, what is startup in the first place?
Well, I mean, there are several definitions for startup, but what I'll say is a startup is more or less an idea that has a plan, but it's not something that you're going to keep as a start only, but then it continues to an expected end or to be sold to another person. So it starts as an idea, but it moves into a business. And then it starts operational, but it has a short history. I know in Ghana, most companies that are even 10 years still call themselves startup. So it depends on how different countries, different places have definitions for startup.
Startups. But yeah, what I understand when it comes to startup is starting your own business, yes, or like be in the primary stages of your business. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That's correct. Yes. Now, it's difficult to even have the edge to pursue what you think of. You know, sometimes it could be as an issue of financial or encouragement or the motivation and all that. Before you even get all this, how do you decide on what you want to go into as a business?
Well, it's like I said in the beginning, it starts as an idea. So before you want to start something, definitely you must have an idea, a vision or a plan. Something, you might have seen something. You might have traveled somewhere, maybe in the country, and then you saw a problem. The problem now becomes a burden on your heart, and then you decide, okay, I want to solve this. It turns out to become a business for you, and then you start. So that's how it starts. Some people get theirs through probably in school. They see something that is going on and they decide that, okay, let me start this. Some might even drop out of school with the idea and then just start the business. So that's how it starts. You know, some people are afraid to start. Usually I tell people that once it comes, just start. As to whether it will end well or not, you don't have to think about that.
But that's where the problem is, whether it will end well or not, because it's money you're investing. If you are saying whether it ends well or not, I mean, what should one have to be able to become an entrepreneur? What should be the characteristics one should have in going into becoming an entrepreneur?
I think to go into becoming an entrepreneur, there are phases. So some of us might have probably parents who are into business already. Yeah. So you've seen them going to do business, and then that instinct starts from there. For some of us, it didn't happen that way. My parents are trained teachers. So and then my father became a police officer. So there's nothing like that happening. But my mom was a trader, even though teaching trading. So you can see that, okay, I think I want to start doing something. Yeah. You're getting me? Yeah. And then as it kicks in from that point, you start it. You whether it's selling you want to do, or probably like in our field, accounting, you want to start something as a consultant, helping people start up business. That's what we focus on. We help many. In fact, in the past 10 years, we've helped more than 500 businesses, startups. Young guys who want to start business, they don't have the idea to start it. So we take you in, maybe a weekend, we start learning what you are thinking, and then directing what you are thinking to become profitable for you. You see, so I believe I've answered your question.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say yes to that. But then, in the first place, it's quite difficult, like I mentioned, to even have the edge to go into it, because I mean, knowing that you might end up succeeding or failing alone is a scare. Yeah. Now, once you begin and you start whatever you've thought of or the idea you had earlier and you put it into practice, how do you push it?
Good. One, I always advise that one, you have to look at the idea. Two, you need to look at the environment. Okay, so you're starting something in probably, let's say, fashion. We have quite a few people that we've coached, like Heal the World, HTW, Diabasewa, the fashion.
Yeah, I know Diabasewa.
So you see, they started before we came in to also help as friends and then as business consultants to them and then grow. Now, how do you go about this? You can only go about this by studying the environment. One, you need to know that you are starting in Ghana. If you are starting in Ghana, how do you go about this? You need to be registered. You might start when you are not registered, but then you get to a stage you have to legalize whatever you are doing. So if you have to legalize, get it registered, you need to understand what is the accounting processes. Bookkeeping. Many of us start, we don't have anything about bookkeeping. We don't record anything. We start, we spend money from our pockets, from our accounts. There is no record of it. Now, after 1 year, 2 years, you are supposed to file. You don't know what you're going to file. So that's a problem. And then people just stop because they realize that, okay, no, I don't think I understood the system very well. You need to ask questions. This industry I'm entering, how is it going to be beneficial? What am I going to solve there? Is there systems in place in the country that will help me move this? So you are in Ghana, take it at your environment in Ghana. What is the law that backs whatever you are doing? What is the law that will help you, even as a young guy, to grow your business to a point that you can succeed?
Yeah.
So those are the things you look at. Yes, of course, you're starting without, you have an end in mind, but you don't know whether you will hit it or not, but you are determined to go there. But the things that will help you hit there is, one, the people you consult, the people who can help you financially. Because if you're not coming from a background where you have money, in this country or anywhere you want to do business, sometimes people say, oh, you don't need money to start. Of course, you don't need money to start the physical business. But then when you want to get a space to even rent, you need money. So definitely you need money to do whatever business or startup you want to start with. You need it. But how do you get it? You need to ask questions, ask people who can support you, people who can help you. And then know the advantages you have within the law. And then take advantage of that.
I was reading about startups last night, and I came across one big problem that people who are now beginning their businesses actually face: the fear of sharing what they've created with others.
Yeah.
So if you're going for money from someone, the person says, okay, I'm going to give you 20,000, but yet I want to be a partner, or I wanted to do this in partnership basis. That's a problem for any startup out there.
Very true.
Why is that a problem, and why should even one go into partnership with any investor?
The problem stems from our training. You know, most of us are trained to be individualistic, even our examination systems. Everything we do in this country, I'm competing with you. So I believe that if I bring you on board and I share with you, no, maybe you take it over and I'll lose everything. I mean, I had several experiences of that where you're starting something, you encourage other friends to join you, and at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't work. But then when there are documents to back that, when it doesn't work, whoever the fault is from, you just transfer back the shares to me and then you can walk out. You see? So one, it's true that there's a particular venture we are going into very soon. There's someone who is sponsoring us, a woman who is putting in so much. We have part of the money, she has part of the money now, she's bringing it on board. And you see, we don't fear that at the end of the day, she will get part of the profit. No. The point is, if the two come together to do it with understanding and with legal background, it ends up becoming better and becoming greater. If it is you alone, you might do well. You might go quite some length. But to go far, you need others. And that's where our training brings us. You know, that we lack that in our training, in this. Whether you do entrepreneurship, I did entrepreneurship in Polytechnic, you do entrepreneurship if you are doing your ACC and all those professional courses. But the problem is we don't have the ability to do business together, knowing that business is business and friendship is friendship. We bring the emotions into the business and the business will not work. So you think that once I give, you are Bright.
Yes.
Once I invite Bright in, he has an expertise, he takes maybe 30% of the company, and I'm having the 70%, and we are doing it together. No, maybe Bright might not be so good, and end up still making part of that money. And that is where the issue is. But you need Bright's money to make sure that you hit that far point that you want to go.
You know, there's a proverb that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together.
Yes.
So I understand where you're coming from. But then imagine me starting a business, and I've been thriving to make this work for about 5 years, and now that I'm gaining grounds, I need some money. I come to you and tell me that you want to invest, but before that, I want to be partner, and I'm scared. How do I let this particular fear go? That listen, as a business owner, you need people to support you, one way or the other. How do I kill that fear?
the way to kill this fear is, one, making sure that whether it's debt financing that you're going for or equity financing you're going for, the way to kill it is to get professionals to back you. One, get a lawyer, or at least somebody with a legal background that can help you draft an agreement between the two of you where you are taking the funds from. And two, you need to also understand that, do you have the same principles with the person that you're going into that arrangement with? If you don't have the same principles, it might fail. You might collect the money, but you might not be able to generate any profit out of that with the person. And then the other thing that you have to understand also is that as you are going into that with the person, it has to be a long term. Sometimes you, the one who started, must step aside.
Really?
Yes.
Why should I do that?
Because
that's
you see,
my idea.
yes, you've done it for 5 years. If you could make it bigger, why are you still the way you are? So maybe the person, sometimes the person coming in might tell you that, look, Eben or Bright, this money you're taking from me, I want somebody else to manage it. So yes, let's be on the board together, but this person should be the manager so that he drives it without any emotional stuff and then move it forward. So sometimes you need to sit and know, where do you want the business to be? This is a startup must not remain a startup forever. So you must understand that, okay, this business, where do we want to take it? Okay. If it's going to go this length, who do we need on board to make it go there?
All right, our time is up, and we're going to wrap up. But quickly, one last question. I'll be grateful to answer you really quick in about a sentence for me. How do we market a startup business? The marketing aspect of it.
Friends, family, and then your close circle, like churches. If you are in the mosque. That's how I do it. So when I started a new business, the first person to buy from me is my mother and father. The next person is my uncles, and then my cousins. Then now, because if they can buy from you, then the next person outside who does not know you will buy from you.
Then recommendations will come in.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming here, sir. So I've been here with Mr. Ebenezer Sagoe. Thank you so much. And we've been talking about startups here in Ghana. If you were a new entrepreneur coming on the scene, listen, don't worry. Things happen. There is failure, okay, and there's success. No matter what, you make it.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.